Oi gente, tudo bem? Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm G from Brazil and I created this channel to be the solution if you're considering to come to Brazil someday. Everything you want and have to know if you plan to visit my country someday. Well, if you have questions, ask in the comments, subscribe, and let's start this video. In this video, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know before travel to this paradise, Maragogi. And the first thing is about the tide table. And why is that? Look, two very nice attractions to do there is snorkeling in the natural pools and to walk in the sandbanks in the middle of the sea. And it's just possible when the tide is low. I mean, if you really want to see these attractions, you have to be aware of that. But in my opinion, it's absolutely 100% worth going to Maragogi even when the tide is high. The paradise, blue water beaches will still be there. And there is a certain time of the day when the tide is low enough to take these two tours to see the attractions that I just mentioned. It's not the whole day. For example, when I was there to visit the natural pools and do snorkeling there, my tour left at 11:30 in the morning, but sometimes the same tour is in the afternoon. It's according the lowest tide moment. To do snorkeling in the natural pool, the tide has to be up to 0.6. I mean, the tourist doesn't leave when the tide is higher, but I believe 0.6 it's already too much. I wouldn't do the tour if the tide is more than 0.4. And to visit the Moisés Path, or in Portuguese, Caminho de Moisés, the limit is 0.2, but the lowest, the best. So, negative 0.1, I believe, is the greatest. The website to check the tide will be in the description. Well, about the weather. It's hot and sunny all day long, but if you want to see the super blue and crystal sea, it's better to choose a period when the chances of rain are lower, because when it rains, the sea and the sand mix, and you may not see as blue and beautiful as it could be. Honestly, I believe you can visit Maragogi all year long, because if it rains, it will rain for a small while and then sun again. And even during the most rainy time, it's not a lot of rain, you know what I mean? Well, I guess the point is, if you can, choose months like October to December, but you really don't need to be concerned to visit in March, for example. I went on March and I had a little bit of rain, and it was funny because we looked at the sky and it was all blue except for one single cloud above us. And then it rained, and the rain lasted about 15 minutes. So on March we had a little bit of rain almost every day and a lot of sun every day too. And we asked our local guide about the rain, and he said, look, you can come all year long if you want sun, but you can't plan a trip to Maragogi if you don't want to get a little bit of rain in any day. So if he said, well, about the best beaches. Guys, different from Asia and other beach destinations, in Maragogi you don't need to take boats to get to the beaches, because most of them are in the continent, not an island. So I would say having a car is pretty helpful to go to the nice beaches around. If you just want to relax and stay a couple of days in a super nice hotel right in front of the beach, having your breakfast with your feet on the sand, you won't need a car. But if you're the kind of person who likes to explore everything around, in Maragogi it's more helpful to have a car than a boat. So I advise everybody to rent their own car. And about this, getting around in Maragogi. We rent a car, the cheapest available, for about $16 a day with insurance and one additional driver. We were pretty sure it was an excellent option. It's very easy and safe to drive there, but in case you don't feel comfortable driving, it's okay. There's a kind of jeep tour that takes you to all the beaches, and it's so much fun, and sometimes your jeep will be just next to the beach. The only bad thing is the sun above your head the whole day, but if you don't mind, go ahead. The jeep is more expensive than renting a car. Actually, it's much more expensive. 3 hours costs about 300 reais, the Brazilian money, and 5 hours 645. It's because the 5 hours tour takes you to more distant beaches. Each car fits 4 guests plus the driver, so if you are in 4 people, for example, the 3 hours tour will be 75 reais per person, which is about $15. And how to get to Maragogi? Well, there are 2 airports where you'll probably land, in the city of Recife or in the city of Maceió. It's the 2 biggest cities with airports. We arrived in Recife just because the flight was cheaper, but if you prefer to land in Maceió, it's more or less the same distance and you will pay more or less the same price to get to Maragogi. So, once you are in one of these 2 cities, you can rent a car. It's what we did. And guys, believe me, it's easier than you think to rent a car in Brazil. If you don't want to rent a car, you can take a transfer to Maragogi. About prices. Well, normally the northeast coast is cheaper than Rio de Janeiro, for example. In Maragogi, we found the prices very good. A coconut water was just R$2, about 40 cents of dollar. We stayed in a super cool hotel with breakfast and dinner included for less than 700 reais a night, about $135 a night. Our guide charges 150 Brazilian money to stay a full day with us. It's less than $30. And the tour to do snorkeling in the natural pool was about $20 in a shared boat. Guys, there are specific videos in my channel with tours and transfers. Check them out when you finish this. Actually, it's a very helpful playlist about Maragogi. And if you're considering to visit my country, follow my Instagram. It's where I daily share helpful and nice tips about Brazil. And if you got here, it's because you liked the video. So please, like the video, feel free to subscribe and ask any questions you may have in the comments. Have a wonderful time in Brazil. Bye!